I'm not religious at all, and I don't believe in any religion either. I've talked about this several times on my channel, but this is one thing that I've never really tackled or talked about on my channel: prayer. In my opinion, I think prayer is stupid. In my opinion, at least. Look, if you like to pray, or I guess maybe pray if you have a good day or something, or whatever, fine. But I don't like it when people pray just to get rid of their problems, and they think that's all they need to do to get rid of their problems, and they get so shocked, so upset when nothing happens after that. Look, even other religious people get this. You actually have to do something to make your problems go away. You can't just pray to whatever deity you believe and be like, please help me in this situation. No, no. You actually have to make an effort and do stuff to actually make your problem go away. Once upon a time, I was religious. Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to believe, right? But I was once a Catholic, very strong. I was a very devoted Catholic, I guess you could say. I thought pretty much everything my parents told me were true, that God exists and all that. And I didn't start to question my faith until about 2012, when a very, very close friend to the family passed away. He was pretty much like my grandfather. I was really close to the guy, even though I couldn't really understand much of what he was saying because he spoke a completely different language. But anyways, he was like a grandfather. I was very close to him, and he fell around the time I graduated from elementary school. He fell, and he had to go to the hospital, and he also had a slew of other problems. He had something wrong with his lungs and stuff like that. And the doctors are starting to say that there is actually a big chance that he's not going to make it. He might actually die. And my whole family, we all sat down one night and we prayed for him to live. And I remember they said, with God's help, he will survive. He'll make it. He'll be fine. And after we did that, about 2 or 3 days later, he died. He died. And it was a huge devastation to me and my family because he was so close. He was a really good person. He was amazing. And that was like, we prayed though. Wasn't God supposed to help him live and stuff, and help him get better? And I was told that this was part of God's plan. Yeah, God's plan for him to have messed up lungs and to end up dying. He suffered before he died. He kept coughing, and he wasn't a smoker or anything. He was a soldier in World War II, and he breathed in all these harmful chemicals and stuff, and it messed up his lungs for the rest of his life, and it ended up killing him. He was 80 years old. And I bought the God's plan thing for a little while after that, but then I started to think, why would a God put someone through something like that? Why would a God even let something like World War II happen? And that's when I started to question, and then towards the end of 2013 and early 2014, I just completely abandoned religion entirely. I stopped believing, and that was around the time I started learning about evolution and all that, and now I consider myself an atheist. But thanks to that experience, I consider prayer almost entirely pointless. Look, if you think prayer helps you during a situation, fine. If it feels like someone is watching over you and guiding you or something, fine. But do not depend on it 100% because that does not solve your problems at all. You only think it does, and I'm sure some of you will probably be like, "Oh, but I prayed and this happened right after." It's all coincidental, alright? I remember I had a beta fish back when I was 7 years old, and I was told that those things don't live very long. And then I prayed, and that fish ended up living for a little over a year, much longer than how long those fish usually live. And well, I took very good care of that fish. I fed it every day and followed all the instructions, and that fish definitely did survive because I took very good care of it, not because some man in the sky thought let it live for that long. And then after the fish died, I got really upset and really sad, and I got like three other beta fish right after that, and I say three because all of them ended up dying after like a day. And I did the praying thing, and none of that worked. it can give you false hope and think that you can solve all of your problems, and it doesn't help that the Bible says it will solve all of your problems. If you believe, you will receive whatever you asked for in prayer. Matthew 21:22. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20. Ask and it will be given to you. For everyone who asks receives. Luke 11:9-10. Again, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about everything you ask for, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. Matthew 18:19. And I just used Christianity as an example. I know it's not just a Christianity or Catholicism exclusive thing, but I know every religion has some form of praying, I think. But my point is that it promises you that it will happen, and I'm more than certain that every other religion also promises you that prayer will do something. And then these religious nuts who rely 100% on prayer get all shocked and angry and sad when their prayer is not answered. Prayer can also be a harmful thing too. You hear about these stories a lot. Well, not a lot, but they're not uncommon. Where you hear about these religious nuts. Maybe they have a child or something, and their child has a disease, and the parents don't believe in doctors, medicine, or any of that, and they just rely completely on prayer, and they think God is going to solve their problems, and then the kid ends up dying. Something like this happened recently. I watched this podcast called The Drunken Peasants pretty regularly, and about a week or two ago they covered the story about these two religious nut parents, and they had a child with diabetes, and the child was starving and skinny, literally to the point where his own body was eating itself because he really didn't have enough food, because his parents decided to neglect him and not do anything, and I think they just prayed for his problems to go for his disease to go away. And guess what happened? He died at 15 years old, so yeah, he didn't have that long of a life. Oh wait, was that part of God's plan too? Was it part of God's plan for the kid to have diabetes and for the parents to neglect him and have him starve to death, which is a horrible, horrible way to die, and die at a very early age? Was that part of God's plan too? But look, prayer didn't solve anything there, and I'm willing to bet you if the parents fed him and had him see doctors and have him take the medication he needs or whatever he needs to take care of that, I'm more than sure that the kid would still be alive right now if the parents weren't neglectful idiots and just completely relied on prayer for the kid to get better. Again, I don't have a problem if you just simply pray. Maybe if you feel it helps you or makes you feel like you have some sort of guidance, well, if you have a problem, then fine. And maybe it motivates you to solve your problem. Then that's fine. But I'm talking about those who 100% rely on prayer and think prayer can solve anything. It doesn't, alright? And if you think it does, then you, in my opinion, are stupid. Oh, wait, was that too mean? Oh, I'm sorry. Mentally challenged. Anyway, I know this video wasn't going to win me some friends, or probably the opposite effect would probably, I don't know, maybe it would probably cause me to lose some fans or whatever. Whatever. It's my opinion, and if you can't handle that, then whatever, just leave if you want to. I don't care, really. Anyway, since I know this video is probably going to piss off some people, or maybe even a lot of people, then I eagerly await the hate in the comments and the stupid, religious people in the comments that saying how much of an idiot I am or how I'm gonna burn in hell and stuff like that. Absolutely hilarious. Anyways, can't wait. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.